I'm Catherine Conley, a.k.a. KC, and we have a...
You didn't catch his name?
Yeah, it's Joseph DeVerns.
Joseph Verns.
DeVerns. We're throwing him right into the fire. No mercy. Jose, tell us, before we get our call, we're waiting for Mike Driscoll to call in from Whitman-Hanson. He's a former head coach of Whitman-Hanson football. He'll be calling in here shortly. But before we get that ring, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, I'm a junior at Bishop Fee in high school right now. I'm trying to major in broadcasting and broadcast journalism in high school. I mean, in college, hopefully at USC or UCLA. And I used to play football and lacrosse, so I know a good amount about sports.
There you go.
And I keep up with the NBA and NFL, always up to date.
All right, so now you say you caught up on high school sports. It gets really tricky now.
Yeah.
But yeah, welcome aboard. Lucy's not with us. Her mom is still out of it. So hopefully everything, we say a lot of prayers out to her and her mom and Lou, her husband, and her brothers and stuff like that. And we wish them all the best. So Lucy, we'll hope to see you back. So what we'll do is, what you'll hear in the future now is we'll hear, we'll just rotate like we usually do, where Joe can come in and start, or the sports, whatever. You know what I mean? So we get everybody in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I want to make sure I said that right. I must have, because no one corrected me. So that's good. All right, so yeah, we're just waiting for Coach Driscoll to call in here at 508-222-1320. Last week, we got a great response on Facebook with Coach Buron. Next week, and I'm going to cheat on my phone. See, this is it, Joe. See, we don't have the fancy interns to do all the work for us. So we do all our own legwork here. That's true, right? My line?
Yeah, that's completely
correct. So it's
correct.
not like someone's handing me a paper and, and I can say, oh, look what I found out. But it was actually the intern that did it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, we do.
Actually.
Do me a favor. Turn your mic towards you more.
Yeah, like that?
No, like this. I want you to go just like this. Turn the whole thing. No, towards you. Towards you. More. Hold the bottom of it. Hold the arm.
Okay.
Turn it down towards you. Now bring the mic up. Like, there you go.
There we go.
See, don't do what I just did. See what I did? That was wrong. So we're going to tighten that up. There you go. So now it can hear you. So what happens is, and I do this a lot, and God knows I've been doing this for a while. I still get it wrong, and thank God. And Coach Jim Jones doesn't lose his mind. Right. So we do have a call.
That must be him.
Hi, y'all. First on 4 Deep Sports Talk. Is this Coach Driscoll, I hope?
This is Coach Driscoll.
Coach, good to talk to you. Thank you for calling in.
To you guys.
Thank you. So you obviously heard about the show because we do cover out in Whitman-Hanson.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. So, Coach, first of all, congratulations on a great run you probably had over there with all the great kids over at Whitman-Hanson. And, of course, people that don't know, Coach Driscoll is now the former head football coach over at Whitman-Hanson. Are you still going to be involved in the school?
Oh, yeah. I work. I'm the operations coordinator for the district, so I'll still be heavily involved with the school.
Excellent. Okay, I was just trying to tune you in to make sure I got you in, got the audio all set. So what we'll do is the guys will introduce themselves as they ask questions.
Yep.
I'm an old-timer, so why wing it? All these other kids are prepared. Even though the new kid's in here, he probably has like 8 different questions. So my first question is, why don't you give us a little about your background?
Yep.
Where where you grew up, where you're from, your football experience, whatever your coaching experience, so the people that don't know Coach Driscoll will get to know him by the end of the day.
Absolutely. So I grew up in Hanson, Massachusetts here. I was a graduate of Whitman-Hanson class in 1991. Played football 4 years at Whitman-Hanson, and I actually got started in coaching right after high school at 18 years old. I started coaching in the youth I coached my little brother's team. He's 10 years younger than me, so I coached there, and I kind of caught the bug. I went away to college for a couple of years, came back, started coaching again in the youth, and in 1997 I started coaching track and field at Whitman-Hanson, and in 1998 I started coaching freshman football. So ever since then, I've been, part of the football on the South Shore. I left for a couple years to coach with my good friend Herb Devine at Scituate, and then Coach Bancroft, who I had as a coach, went over to Pembroke and coached with him for a couple years. When the Whitman-Hanson job opened up, the head position, I went and I applied for it and got it, and it was a dream come true, and it was a great 10-year run being the head coach at Whitman-Hanson.
All right, guys, you know the deal. Jump in.
Hey, Coach Driscoll, it's Catherine Conley. How are you?
Hey, Catherine, how you doing?
I'm good. I just wanted to ask, how old were you when you started to play football?
I started playing football at 8 years old.
Wow.
Yep, I tried it out for the first time. I remember my father was working that day. My mother took me. My pads were on backwards and everything, but you know.
Oh, jeez.
we went. We played, and ever since then, the whole family caught the bug. A couple years later, my dad was coaching, and it's kind of why I got into coaching. He was a coach for the youth in baseball and did everything. So, 8 years old.
Oh, hey, Coach Urschel. My name's Joseph DeVerns. I had a question for you about your when you started coaching. You said you started at 18, and then you mentioned you went off to college. So I was wondering, did you start in high school, or do you start in between the summer between college?
So
and high school?
the first year out, I went to community college at Massasoit. So they didn't have football, so I didn't really have a choice if I wanted to stay involved. So. My dad was one of the coaches for the youth team, and I kind of helped them out running the offensive line for that year. And then when I came back, I coached in youth for 2-3 years, and then I got right into high school coaching.
Yeah, nice.
So I got to give a big shout out to Luce Cabral, who's watching back in Tiverton, Rhode Island. We're missing one more, but Joe's bailing us out by being in here. So I know the sports master's foaming at the mouth with all his questions. So I hope you're sitting down, Coach. Coach, I hope you're sitting down. All right. So here he goes.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, Coach. This is Justin for the Sportsmaster. My first question for you is, what's it like to have had the Panthers win 6 seasons in football?
Yeah, it was great. We had some good seasons. We had actually, I know it was reported 6, but we actually had eight seasons where we had winning records, and 7 seasons, good records, and it was great. It was we never really got to where we wanted to be as far as competing for championships like we thought we would be, but it was an awesome run.
Coach, so you've been involved in the Patriot League for over 10 years as a student athlete, and you guys back in your high school, you guys were still in the Patriot League, right?
The Patriot League actually started right at the end of my high school career, correct. We were social league when we first started.
Oh, you were out with East Bridgewater and Abington and stuff.
So they had that huge league back then.
Yeah.
And then they all split it up, and they formed what they called the Pilgrim Conference.
Yep.
So we were actually in the Atlantic Coast League for a while.
Gotcha.
And then they started the Patriot League. So, yeah. I actually played in the ACL my last year.
The old ACL. Oh, that's my phone, sorry.
That's all right.
Oof. I'll tell you, I'd mess up a free lunch somehow, I'll tell you. I'd get chocolate milk on my peanut butter and jelly sandwich in a minute. Cheap as crow. So let's talk about how competitive this Patriot League is, because I know, I think of the Patriot League with no disrespect, and you know that, you know this, Duxbury.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
And but you guys were always knocking at the door, always trying to, make your mark, make your dent. Can you explain what it's like, or give us your opinion on Patriot League football in general?
Patriot League football is extremely competitive. It's a great league, top to bottom. I would say that top was Duxbury, and then everybody else. So over the 10-year span, we beat everybody but Duxbury, and they're the cream of the crop. So everybody chases them. But, Hingham's a damn good football program. Plymouth North's a good football program. Silver Lake's always right there in this league. The Quincy's, the North Quincy, we played them over the years. Never mind on the other side with Pembroke and Situate. And Marshfield now. Marshfield football in Duxbury is going to give Duxbury a run for their money going forward, because they're a legit program, and Coach Aruka. But there's no days off. You get into that league, and you lose once, and you're in trouble. You can't afford to slip up. In some other leagues, you can lose a couple games, maybe, or a game, but if you lose once, it's over. So it's a great league, top to bottom, but all around, just a competitive football league.
All right, one more question before we go to break. Who wants it?
Oh, I can take it.
All right.
Okay, my question for you was, many people talk about their coaches teaching them valuable lessons in high school, I was wondering if any of your players actually taught you anything.
Well, I think the players always teach you something. These kids. I've been very fortunate to have some extremely smart student athletes. So they teach you what it's like to prioritize your athletics. We're very driven on on academics first. We're extremely focused on that as a program, and these guys taught me how to prioritize a little bit with their school and with their everyday life, how to prioritize that. You have an A+ student, plus you have an all-scholastic athlete. Those kids are, they got a lot on their plate, and those are the kids that taught me the most over the years.
All right, we're getting ready to take. I'm sorry about that. I'm just watching the clock. So we're getting ready to take our first break. If you want to call in or watch, you can't really see Coach. Coach shows me a bunch of pictures, but we'll talk about that later. This show will be on Whitman Hanson Access TV as we do the video side and get it ready. But you can listen and watch us in studio. Just go to the 4 Deep Sports Talk, all one word. .com, 4deepsportstalk.com website. You can see Joe, you can see the Sportsmaster, you can see KC and yours truly, as we have the privilege of talking with Coach Driscoll on his way out, still involved with the school. He'll still be around. All right, Coach, we're going to take our first break. Again, you've been listening to 4 Deep Sports Talk here on the news station, 1320 AM WARA, and online, all one word, 4deepsportstalk.com. Again, Coach Driscoll, Whitman Hanson Football. We'll be back with more right after this.
Wearing a mask helps prevent the spread of COVID-19. You should wear a mask when you are out in public or anytime you are around someone who does not live in your household. If you are sick and interacting with others at home, and when you are caring for someone sick at home. Masks should not be worn by children under age 2, anyone who has trouble breathing, or anyone who can't take off the mask without help from another person. To learn more, visit cdc.gov/coronavirus. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your woodsman, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, but 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners. W.H. Riley is here for your home or business needs this summer. They're a family-run business that always welcomes new customers. They offer air conditioning, generator, and home appliance installation with 24-hour
Run a break.
You can contact them at 508-699-4651 or on the web at whriley.com. W.H. Riley & Son, 35 Chestnut Street, North Attleboro, a company Greater Attleboro residents have called on since 1873.
Hey everyone, welcome back to 4 Deep Sports Talk here at the news station, 1320 AM WARA. We have Mike Driscoll, who is now the former Whitman Hanson head football coach. Coach, are you still there?
I'm still here.
I got to watch out when I say former, because it's going to sound like the guy's going out to the pastures or something.
Oh,
You know what I mean? We gotta
form.
right? No, you were exactly right. But when I say it, sounds like he's going he's going to the rice paddies or some crazy place, or some type of manual labor thing or something, right? But first, Coach, again, congratulations on a great career, and we really appreciate you taking this time. I'm actually waiting for Nate Rollins for the Whitman Hanson Express to chime in. He's usually on, but he just had a change in jobs. And also Tom Joyce from the Quincy Sun usually they'll chime in and add some more color to something we might have forgot. But I'll have to beat on them later next time I see them. They'll have to owe me a cocktail or something.
There you go.
Shirley Temple. But so you got one?
Yeah, I got one.
All right. So here's the Sportsmaster again, Coach.
Okay, Coach, my next question is, how does it feel to have coached high school football for 22 years?
It's great. It's literally a highlight of my life so far. You know, one of the besides getting married and having children, and you know, it's been an awesome experience. There's nothing like the feeling of a Friday night lights under the game, the crowds, getting ready for those games. The things I'll miss the most, though, are scheming and getting ready for those games and preparing for the games. But there's nothing better. There's nothing better than the camaraderie you share and everything that you have that goes along with it.
You guys got something?
Yeah.
Because you know me, I'll open up my big mouth and I'll just start talking.
Coach, you mentioned that the Patriot League was extremely competitive earlier. My question is, like, were there any teams in the Patriot League that have players that were really good for their team?
So any standout names come to mind, Coach, out of the Patriot League?
Yeah, I mean, over the years you've had some couple kids. You got a kid who's playing at Northwestern right now as a tight end out of Hingham. Duke. They got a kid out of Duke. You know, the funny part is we don't have a lot of Division I type players that come out of the league, but but we get a lot of the kids who go to the NESCAC schools, including our guys. So you know, we don't have those flashy Division I guys, but we always have the really good hard-nosed student athletes.
So my next question, Coach, is I'm gonna throw this kid under the bus because I work with him now, and I think you're gonna know who I'm talking about, and the other guys will enjoy. We're gonna talk about Colby Garden.
Yep.
Who was probably one of the underrated wide receivers in the Patriot League. Would that be fair to say?
Very fair to say. I wish I had him all 4 years.
You see, he was one of those guys where he got the ball and he would take off like a deer, like a deer to get to either score or something. Because he tells me how much he misses playing and stuff like that. And he's an all-around good kid. But I was wondering, I know you really can't mention every single athlete in the last, 22 years that you had a chance or had a privilege of being associated with. But is there anyone in particular? First of all, before I even say that, I apologize. Before I forget, let's go over your coaching staff. Let's give them the kudos because sometimes we save that for last, and I forgot to write it down, so we better say it now.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I mean, I've had a great staff, and I've had some guys who have been with me the whole time. Paul Scarpelli has been with me from day one. He's a teacher in the district. He ran the defense the last couple of years. Fabulous guy. We always joke because most of the guys are all Whitman-Hanson guys, but Paul's a Rockland guy, so he brought that bulldog side to our program and that little bit of toughness that's needed. Zach Costa's been with me since day one as well. He's a former Panther quarterback. He's actually a senior on the team when I started coaching. So he runs our passing game and everything like that. Jerry Thompson is an alumnus who played for me when I was a head coach. He came back. He's a local firefighter in town. He's amazing. Matt Rodman, someone who I have a long-standing tradition time with. His father was actually a coach when I played. We actually have a memorial rock for his father up on our practice field.
Oh, wow.
And so it was cool to have him back coaching with us. Keith Sweeney, when I coached together for 8 years, he's moved on from coaching. He's a spectacular guy. And then I've had some young guys. Rob Runzel and Hank Moylan joined us this year, two former players. But the heart and soul of our program are our two freshman coaches, Dan Moriarty and John Rosen, two spectacular guys who helped us grind our guys. And then my brother Sean Driscoll as well, coach offensive line with us for 6 years, and he was a great part of our program as well. So I've had some amazing guys coach with me, and they're all good people, and they all have a passion for football.
Anybody we left out that you didn't mention? And that sounded like those were most of the recent coaches. Any
Yeah,
other ones?
Steve Scott coached with me back in the day.
Okay.
He was a coach who coached with us. He started the program with us. Chris Koklar coaches with us right now. He's a local guy, a local Panther, and he's played football for us and played for UMass. He's a great guy to have on the staff the last few years. And I don't think I'm missing anyone out, but
all right. Well, I don't want to see him. I don't want you to see get some hate mail and email saying you left
exactly.
me out. All right, guys, what do you got? Yes, sir.
Oh, Coach. So you mentioned the competitiveness in the Patriot League earlier. So my question for you was that relating to that competitiveness, and it was the competition's known to bring out the best in some people. So I wanted to know if there was a particular performance that you remember in your brain of one of your players maybe performing a superhuman type act or having a stat line that large that stood out to you.
Yeah, a couple years ago we had a player, Nick Smith. He was our quarterback. His nickname was Nick Turbo Smith. And Nick ran for over 200 and threw for over 300 yards in a game. And at the time, that was when Brendan Hall and those guys had the ESPN Players of the Week. And Nick was his stat line that night against Silver Lake. He was involved with all 6 touchdowns. Insane night.
Wow.
And then we had another quarterback.
6 touchdowns.
Yeah, he had an amazing night that night, and it was one of those super off the charts nights. I can't remember the exact stat line, but his numbers that night were insane. And we had another one when we played Marshfield a few years back in my second year, and we had a quarterback, Tom Sapienza, who was a stud receiver the year before and had to fill in for quarterback for the year and threw 4 touchdowns and over 280, 300 yards or something like that against a Marshfield team that we ended up beating them pretty good that day. Those two really stuck out, those two performances.
Wow.
Yeah,
and never mind Ethan Phelps. The kid was off the charts for us, passing, throwing, running, whatever he needed to do. That kid was insane.
All right, old man, what do you got?
All right. My next question is, will your last day of coaching the Panthers be memorable throughout the years?
I think, honestly, that might have been my the best moment of my coaching career was that game at Hingham. In my years, we went over there 5 times and only beat them one other time. We only have beaten Hingham. I think we beat them 4 or 5 times. And that game, the way the kids played that day and the way they treated me after the game was something I'll remember for the rest of my life.
That is really cool. That's cool. What do you got, kid?
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask you, do you have a favorite professional football player in the NFL?
Oh, well, I did. His name was Tom Brady, but, he kind of left town now. So.
Oh, that's how I felt before, too. I still like him.
I still like him. I love the Patriots, so literally anybody on those Patriots, they're my favorite. They're my favorite players. I love what they're doing right now in the draft and what they did in the free agency.
I did, too. I was really surprised they spent money. But that's
I
another
was
show
shocked.
for another
Absolutely
time.
shocked.
Oh, I know. I was. Usually she wears, KC will be all dolled up with it. She has a Tom Brady shirt, a Buccaneers, the mask. We don't hold it against her because we still love her, but she's not doing that today. She's doing her 4 Deep Sports Talk apparel, which is really cool.
Yep, and the mask, too.
And the mask, too.
All right.
So we talked about a little bit about the league, talked about your players. Of course, you're still going to be around checking out the school. Have you had any idea who your predecessor might be?
I don't. They're in the process right now of getting the candidates together and forming a committee.
Nice.
For that, so I assume they're going to be doing interviews pretty soon.
Do you have any input?
Just they've asked me some questions on who should be on the committee and stuff like that, but I've kind of stayed away on purpose.
Yeah.
I have 2 assistant coaches who are going for it, so I'm hoping
nice.
for the best for both of them. And so I think it's fair to me to stay back.
Right. Now, who does it consider? How is this committee put together? Now, I'm curious.
I know that they're having a town's someone from the youth, a couple of members of the school department, and then they'll have a couple players on that committee as well. And the school principal and the AD will eventually make the final decision.
So it's not brain surgery. It's basically
No.
they keep it simple, stupid, and stuff.
Keep it simple. You come
You
and you
have
ask
to.
some questions, and yep.
I know it's a paid position, but let's be realistic. You didn't make $100,000 a year coaching football.
Correct.
A lot of it was love. Let's be realistic.
When you figure out the hours over the course of a year,
You'll never get your money back.
you're making nickels.
Yeah.
You know?
I hope you got a free cheeseburger and a hot dog and a soda, because that's what I would have wanted.
Exactly. And at least when the snack bar was open, you always get a nice free hot dog after the game. You know?
Yeah, you put your hand behind your back and you face the crowd. They slip it on your hand and you
Exactly.
walk away with the exactly.
Yep.
All right, Coach, we're going to take our second break. We still have you, right?
Oh yeah, you got me.
All right, excellent. So when we get back, if you want to call in, 508-222-1320. We have the privilege of having Coach Mike Driscoll, former coach of the Whitman-Hanson Panthers, been there for 10 years. You're doing some reflecting and giving them a well-deserved kudos, and as we highlighted on this program today. Again, you want to call in, 508-222-1320. You can check us out and listen to our interview on our website, all one word, 4deepsportstalk.com. We'll be back with more right after this.
If you are sick with COVID-19 or think you might have it, take steps to help protect other people from getting sick. Stay home except to get medical care. Call the doctor before visiting. Separate yourself from others who live with you. Wear a mask to protect others. Cover your coughs and sneezes with a tissue and clean your hands right away. Avoid sharing items with other people in your home. This includes things like towels and bedding. Be sure dishes are washed in hot water or the dishwasher before anyone else uses them. Stay aware of how you feel. If you start to have difficulty breathing, or if you are worried about your health, call your doctor. For more tips, visit cdc.gov.
LJ's Car Wash, located just past the Attleboro line on Route 123 in Norton, is available for all of your vehicle cleaning needs. Open every day beginning at 8 a.m. LJ's has the equipment to clean your vehicles inside and out, from 24-hour heated self-serve bays to full detailing service and everything in between. For more information, you can contact them at 508-223-3278 or on their website at ljscarwash.com.
To some people, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much. But that's not necessarily true.
Focus 5.
They combine volumes and consonants. By 9 months, they're trying out different kinds of sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on some meaning. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Learning more babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Early screening and intervention can make a lifetime of difference and unlock a world of possibilities. Take the first step at autismspeaks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to 4 Deep Sports Talk here in the news station on 1320 AM. And we are highlighting former Wilmington High School football coach Mike Driscoll. Oh, Mike, are you still with us?
Oh, I'm here. Yep.
Excellent. All right, one quick note. Next week, next Saturday, we will be at Audrey's Restaurant Banquet Facility for the second annual 4 Deep Sports Talk Basketball Player of the Year and Coach of the Year. Will be there at 7. And then Friday, we'll have the golf tournament on May 14th. So you can come check us out all at Audrey's Restaurant Banquet Facility. Should be fun. So here's the man.
Okay. My next question is, What was your reaction when you learned William Hanson was selected the Patriot Ledger Enterprise Offense Line of the Week?
Oh, I was ecstatic. Those guys had an amazing night versus Silver Lake. We rushed for over 250 yards, and they were a huge part of it. And it was great when they called me and told me they were going to be highlighting offensive lines this week, because a lot of times those guys kind of go under the radar and they're not really noticed, and that they deserved a lot of the credit for what happened that night.
So did your brother brag and throw it in your face that it was his offensive line that did all the work and you couldn't run the offense?
Actually, my brother's not coaching with us anymore. He got a new job, and I actually coached the offensive line, so it made it even better.
Yeah, there you go. Did you remind him, though? You had to remind him.
Yeah, of course I did.
That's what big brothers are supposed to do.
Of course I did, exactly.
Did he say what he... Oh, we got a call. Hold on. We have another call. We had another call. There it is. Hi, you're next on 4 Deep Sports Talk. Do you have a question for Coach Driscoll?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Coach, can you hear her?
Yeah.
All right, what's the question?
I have a question for school.
Please. Hello?
Hello?
Yes. Yep, absolutely.
So I'm his son, and I want to ask him, can you please shout out me, Cooper Driscoll, and Jack Cranshaw for being the best water boys of all time?
Oh, God, that's my son.
Coach, Coach, there goes your Christmas present. That was an awesome question. That was probably one of the best questions I've had in a long time. Do you have another question before we throw Coach under the bus? We have another question for him?
So...
Oh, you're done now for Coach.
Do you have any advice for up-and-coming Women Hanson football players like me and my friends?
That's a great question.
Yeah, well, I'm shocked that he called, because he's in the car going down the Cape to enjoy himself. He lives the life of Riley, you know. Coop, you guys keep working hard and doing what you got to do, and you, all former Panther, you'll be a Panther soon before you know it. You guys are a great group of kids. You guys keep working hard. You're going to be great at anything you want to do.
That's awesome. Thank you for the call.
No problem.
All right. Have a good weekend.
Hey, bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Coach, you got seriously thrown on the bus. I don't know how your Christmas is going to be next year. If I think you're in trouble. So who is the best water boy at Whitman Hanson football? Let's get it right out there right now.
Well, you know what? That's the best part is my daughter Lila, my son Cooper, Jack Cranshaw, and Zach Ross have been the water boys since we started.
Nice.
And my daughter Lila is crushed that they couldn't be out there this year with us, giving out the water with the COVID rules, and that was a tough one for her. But she's also the number one Panther fan around. So she'll have. She told me that. She was very upset that I retired, but she said no matter what, she's going to the games. We live right around the corner. She said, I'll walk there if I have to, Dad.
There you go.
And I assured her we'll be at the games.
I have one more question before I hang it over to the guys, and I'm going to elaborate on your son's question.
Yep.
What advice can you give the up-and-coming freshmen or JV players, or probably more freshman players that want to make this varsity squad?
Yeah. Number one thing, and it's kind of a cliche, but football has to be one of the most important things that you do. You have to be a student-athlete first, but that means you have to hit the weights, you have to concentrate, you have to play other sports. And a lot of times the misconception is that you don't have to play a sport, but you got to get out there. You got to wrestle, you got to do track, you got to play basketball, you got to play baseball, lacrosse, whatever you need to do in addition to your weights, you have to focus on that, and you have to be a better athlete. And it's not like when you're younger and you're just kind of going to go out there and play. The speed of the game is faster than you'll ever imagine, and the competitiveness is better than you'll ever imagine. So you work hard, and you'll get there.
There you go. All right, guys, jump in. I'll go again. You know me, I get a big mouth. I'll just keep on talking.
Yeah, go right ahead.
All right. So, Coach, then let's... Oh, I know. As far as the new MIAA rules that they've tried to implement, like they just went to the federation rules, how big of an adjustment was that for you? Because you had to do the same thing, right, Joe? Yeah, you had to do this. Yeah, because Joe's.
It was huge. I mean, I personally like the fact that I took pride in the fact that we went by the NCAA rules.
Yeah.
I like them. There's a few little things. I don't like the fact that the quarterback can't throw it away. That's one thing that I don't like. We're asking for kids to take hits that maybe they don't need to take. They took that out of the when you're out in the NCAA, you're out of the pocket, you can throw the ball away. Here you can't. The cutting rules were probably time for that, but because football's changed so much, and we don't want the knee injuries. But it was an adjustment, but it really didn't pay much to it because once the game was played, it was played. The larger hash marks maybe play a difference in your defensive alignments. But other than that, the quarterback rule and then the offsides rule, I just don't like that. Once you move, it's automatic offsides. I really didn't like that on the defense. They should be able to get back. The ball's not snapped.
I got to be 50-50. I don't know how Joe feels about it, about the other guys, but I'm 50-50 on that. I think that's pretty cool. With if it's on if it's on their defense, I'm all for it. If it's on my defense, so that's my 50-50. I'm like, why am I guys jumping? And then you know what I mean. And then the one thing I really loved, because I coached last 10 years, I was a freshman coach over at Bristol Plymouth in Taunton.
Yep.
And I had the privilege of having a gentleman that coaches arena football, and he said, let's just put the plays on the like. I'm pretty sure Phoenix do that all the time. I'd put the plays on the list. I'd yell out a number, yell out a color, yell out a color what it's on, or I'd let the kid call the color, right?
Absolutely, yep.
And they've been fun. I'm like, and then I'd just say the first 3 plays, those are the first. Just run. Well, what about the huddle? I didn't say go to a huddle. I said go to line, run the 3 plays. Which ones? The ones we practiced before we started started the game. And then go to the line. I'd call another number. Call play number 6, but zip it this time. Put a guy in motion. So I kind of like that. I thought that added more fun to the game for the kids.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've been no huddle every year, except for 1 or 2. I really love it. I love that part of it too. We have our own language that we made up.
Yeah.
And that was kind of fun doing that. And no one knows what it is. I can yell it out, and anyone has a clue.
Right. What's he blowing his nose or something? What does that mean?
Exactly.
But one of the other ones that I don't think people realize, and the reason why I love the wristband, is that as soon as you put the ball down, the play clock's running.
You're running, exactly. No one realizes that.
Right.
I like that part of the new rules. I like that one.
And I personally think some of the refs were kind of sleeping, because there were a couple of times we had a huddle, and I got freshmen. And you know how freshman kids are like, da 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 da. Basically, and the guys, if they are listening, they know Coach Dom's kidding, but they'd go to, we'd walk the line. I'm like, where's the whistle? How come we don't know delay a game? There's no way the clock can't be done, right? And then next, 2 plays later, they're waking up. They caught us. All right, let's go back to the playlist. Was it your phone's good?
Yeah, they're good.
Oh, okay. I saw your turn. I didn't know if I messed something up.
How much time do we have?
We have another 3 minutes to. We actually 3 minutes to the second break. Then we're going to have Coach Driscoll finish up, and then we'll finish up the show. We'll get them to talk to Joe a little bit more, and I know Coach is taking a Saturday to help us out. But Coach, you got to spread the word more that we're in that area for the kids and stuff.
I love it. I love this format. And,
Thank you.
And I love that people are out here advocating for high school athletics.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And not enough people do that in Massachusetts. It just doesn't happen as much as it should.
So now you have me curious. What are you going to be doing now that a 20-year plus, 22-year plus veteran has nothing better to do as all this time on his hands?
Well, you're going to laugh, but I'm going to be coaching football next fall for my son's team. So.
Oh, you're going to go do OCYFL over at Whitman?
Yep, I'm a Hanson. Yep.
On Hanson. Oh, that's cool.
Yep, I'm going to be one of the. But I'm just going to be an assistant coach.
Yeah, okay.
So I don't have to deal with any of the stuff.
Yeah,
so
okay. We'll see how long that lasts. You can't take it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
right.
We're doing that, and then right now I'm actually I coach 2 baseball teams. I coach my son's AAU baseball team, and I coach his town team. So I'm busy enough. My daughter plays soccer, so we'll be plenty busy.
Do you remember what your wife looks like? I mean, you're never home.
Yeah, she loves every second of it too. Stacy, my wife Stacy, loves the sports, and I've been very fortunate to have someone who understands what it is to be a coach and has been supportive of me since day one of chasing this dream. And then now I get to coach my kids. It's even better.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Don't mind me. I got a little tied up. I want to make sure I didn't lose you and went into because sometimes if I don't watch the board, it'll go right into a commercial. But I'm coach. I'm telling you, you can take the coach out of how does the expression go? You can take the coach out of football, but you can't take football out of the coach. So for you not to say anything, even though it's youth football, but then again, I mean, to your credit, I mean, you've seen all the ins and outs at the high school level, and you're bringing that to the youth level. So you're probably going to be a nice warm teddy bear.
So you got that right.
So you're going to be adjusting all the face masks and the chin guards and making sure just make sure the kid doesn't spit the mouthpiece in your hand once it hits. You know what I mean? You don't want that to happen.
Exactly.
So any shout-outs you want to give before, we'll do the shout-outs when we come back from the break. And any fundraisers or anything else, Coach, when we come back as far as the Whitman Hanson football program comes, anything to do with Whitman Hanson football or whatever, you can educate us because we're about 30 seconds. So one more break, Coach, and then you're free to go.
All right, thank you.
All right. So you are listening to 4 Deep Sports Talk here in the news station. 1320 AM WARA and online, all one word, 4deepsportstalk.com. We have the privilege of having Mike Driscoll, former Whitman Hanson head football coach. We will be back with him and more right in about a couple minutes. We'll be right back.
Keeping your distance from others helps reduce the spread of COVID-19. Stay at least 2 meters or 6 feet away from others inside your home when someone has or thinks they have COVID-19, and outside your home in indoor or outdoor spaces when you are around people who do not live in your household.
Almost done.
Time with others, remember to stay
Shout out everybody who played me
away from
for
others.
the athletic director.
Wash your hands often or use hand sanitizer.
Huh?
Stay out of crowded places if possible. To learn more, visit
Already.
cdc.gov/coronavirus.
Cooper called in from the cat.
One general Main Street in Attleboro has supported local high school sports for many years. With that, you can visit projects and come and visit for over 60 years. From shower doors to auto glass and knee replacement, Christie Glass is ready to do the job. They accept most insurance plans and serve several communities around the Attleboro area. They're open weekdays from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. You can contact them at 508-222-5220 and on the web at christieglass.com.
Hey, welcome back to the show. We are here with Mike Driscoll, now the former Whitman Hanson head football coach. Coach, you still with us?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, so my last question for you is, were there any penalties related to, like, the COVID rules? Examples like anyone not wearing their masks correctly on the field?
No, the referees left it up to us as coaches and the athletic directors to monitor that penalty. In our league, at least. I don't know how it was in other leagues.
But you guys had the 5-minute water break, mandatory 5-minute
Yeah, the
water break.
5-minute water. Yep.
That threw me off so much. You had
Yeah,
that
I know.
too,
It was like
right?
an extra timeout.
I had no idea what they were doing when they stopped the clock. I'm like,
Exactly.
when I was calling the Brockton games on Access TV, I was like, no one pointed. The ref has he didn't point to nobody to let us know whose timeout it was. And then of course, the little skinny intern. Hey, Tom, that's a water timeout. Oh, we're in a water timeout. Yeah. Of course I knew. Yeah, water timeout. Yeah. But they knew I was ad-libbing, me being me.
Exactly.
All right, so you got one more for him, right?
No, that was my last
Oh,
question.
you're
I
a
actually-
bum.
I actually
Yes,
have one
please.
question. I actually want to know how much did the COVID vaccine, the COVID virus affect your season really? Because I know they moved the football season from early fall to late winter. So how much did that affect
Yeah,
you?
it affected it greatly. We couldn't work out like we normally did. We had to do it in small groups, and we couldn't be with them as much as we'd like to be during their workouts. And we did have one game get bumped on our schedule, and ultimately we didn't end up playing it because that team caught COVID at the end too. So that kind of
jeez.
hurt our kids a little bit. So they didn't get to play their complete 5 games. They only got to play 4, but so that was tough on them.
And then the other thing, that was a good, you too, Joe too, played for Fan.
Yep.
They also, you guys had no place to play outside because it was snow on the ground. That was crazy. I don't know, how did you guys do it? Coach, how did you guys do it?
We actually have a amazing group. My athletic director made sure, Bob Rogers made sure that our field was taken care of, and Ernie Sandland, our facilities manager, made sure that our field got taken care of. The DPW in Whitman came up and actually got rid of the snow for us.
On the game field?
Yep, we were on there day one. Yep.
Now, where do you guys usually practice your double sessions and stuff? Don't you go down below in that open field in front of the street?
No, we do it up back. There's a football practice field back there. Up
Oh,
back
really?
above
I didn't know
field.
that.
But we did the whole field, so that was the best part about having fall too. Is we were the only ones out there. We weren't sharing it with soccer, so
good.
we had the field to ourselves every night. We practiced at night, and it was awesome.
All right, Coach, one more thing before we let you go, because we have to get to some scores and stuff. So let's do the shout-outs. I know your son just threw you under the bus, but we can mention him again if you want.
Yeah,
And,
obviously,
everyone.
my family.
Yeah.
Stacy Driscoll, my wife, and Cooper and Lila, and my parents. My brothers all been a big part of the football program. The school, the athletic director, Bob Rogers, was always great for us. And every kid that played for me, and every super fan in Panther Nation, I give a shout-out to all of them.
Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Well, Coach, I can speak for this show here, 4 Deep Sports Talk, and the station itself, 1320 AM WARA, where we wish you the best and
Thank
all
you
the
very much.
success, whatever you get into, especially that, hopefully we won't see you on one of those ESPN commercial spots where you lose your mind at youth football. We don't want to see that because we're going to deny that we even met you. It was another guy. We'll say it was Mike J. Driscoll, not Mike Driscoll.
There you go.
Coach, all
There
the
you go.
best. Thank you for taking your Saturday and helping us out.
Thanks
Hey,
for
no
coming
problem.
on,
Anytime
Coach.
you guys want to talk social football, let me know.
Absolutely.
Great, guys. Thank you.
you.
Yeah, thank you, Coach.
You think it?
All right, that was former head coach Mike Driscoll, and we are going to get ready for the Sportsmaster as he fills us in on some of the scores he has from Friday night. And let me just hit this. And here is the Sportsmaster.
Well, actually, I'm starting with Thursday football.
That's fine.
Yeah. All right. So Thursday football, Blue Hill 49, Bristol Plymouth 6, West Bridgewater 28, Southeastern 6, in Greater Boston, Reverb 38, Lynn English 22, Lynn Classical 22, Medford 6, in Mayflower, Tri-County 16, Upper Cave 6, Old Colony 36, Diamond 12, and South Coast Fairhaven 49, Case 20, Seekonk 38, Bourne 8. And in boys hockey, Southeastern BPWB 3, Tri-County 2. And there's your scores.
There's your scores. Excellent. All right, so we have one. I have one note for the score you just mentioned, the Southeastern. So for people who don't know, Southeastern, the Votex, Southeastern West Bridgewater. Oh my God! Come on down. Think of that. Bristol Plymouth. There we go. Bristol Plymouth. They have a combined co-ed hockey team. So for the 5th year in a row, I think I told you a little bit. We covered them a couple times. We went to the finals. The Mayflower Championship game is today at 4 against Tri-County. So the winner of that, in fact, that might have been the final score, and he forgot to give it to me. Yeah, that's what he did. So that's exactly what he did. Because let's Tri-County, playing Tri-County, so congratulations to Southeastern, Bristol, Plymouth, and West Bridgewater for winning the Votech boys ice hockey championship game. And then also one of the other ones is, who was it? Oh, Diamond Regional, Fall River. They won the Votech boys golf championship. So congratulations. I just haven't made a post yet. What we'll do is we'll put posts on Facebook. So congratulations to them for winning the boys golf. And the only reason why I know that is because my other friend that used to coach football with me is the boys golf coach. They had a big tournament and he filled me in. Are you falling asleep over there? You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right. I don't want to make you start snoring on my behalf. All right. So Joe, you told us a little bit. You're from Fian, your junior year. You know where you want to go. So what do you think of your first time? I threw you right in the fight. You did a great job.
Yeah, that was a great broadcast. It was really fun interviewing him.
It was fun. That's how they all are, really. The only time we get complicated is when we do the South Sectional show, and we do it about a month, right? We'll let Justin will let everybody know who's in, and then the rest of us will let you know who's playing who lost, so people can keep track. That's probably when it gets kind of complicated, right? Right, a little bit. We're all on our notepads, and we're trying to follow it, and I'm cheating on here, and Justin's reading the 22 teams qualified, and then he's going down the list. And we used to do the records, but we're like, just let them know who's in. They'll figure it out. But that's one of the shows we love to do too. Besides trying to get out to the community, and like I talked about earlier about trying to do some live baseball shows. I'm still trying to reach out to Attleboro to see what's going on with their youth baseball or softball, and you only can bug them so much because after a while I become a pest. And it's not that I want to become a pest, but I want to let them know that there's a spot here to show off your program and show off the kids, because it's about the kids. So hopefully these guys will call us back. Remember we went to Freetown Lakeville, right? We did those before.
Yeah, we did those at Little Fenway.
Yeah, Little Fenway. That was fun. All right, so next week we will have, and I get a cheat because I don't have an intern, we will have on the show, it will be, I should play some background music. Yeah, let me put my
Yeah, put the music back on.
Yeah, I know, right? Sounds better than me talking anyway. All right, next week, we will have the brand new girls softball coach from Taunton High School. And that's the good thing about Joe having you in the area. So if you hear anything over at the Fian or at North Attleboro, we can try to schedule them in and promote them like we just did these two football coaches that left, today and last week, 2 weeks ago. We can work on that. You could hook us up, and if there's a spot's available, come on in. But the only thing that stinks, though, is that we'd have to rotate every half hour, because if I'm running the board or if you're running the board, the guest will be in your seat, and then we'd have to switch it out, you know what I mean? Or we could do another phone interview. But I think it's really cool when they're in, and it saves me a little bit of less work on doing the editing on the video side. But yeah, that was fun. That was a good interview. Joe, he seems like a great down-to-earth guy. I forget exactly. I know you mentioned he touched on it briefly about what he does in the school. So he's still going to be part of the school. You know what I mean? So you probably see him at the football game. Nice guy. Good, young family.
Yeah, thank you. I'll be starting to do lacrosse broadcast for Fian as well.
And where can we see that?
It'll be broadcast on the Fian website, I'm pretty sure.
So give us more information. So there's going to a Fian to their YouTube page?
Yeah, no, they don't have it fully set up right now, but I'm going to be making a link where they can connect to the broadcast.
So we can touch on that.
Yeah.
We can start adding it. That'd be cool. And then you can give us the insight on the scores, and we can repost them on Twitter and on Facebook, so that'd be pretty cool. And then weren't you supposed to do something with field hockey, North Attleboro field hockey?
Yeah, I've yet to hear back from the coach.
See, Joe, that's exactly what I'm talking about, stuff like that. So
I'm going to keep emailing her.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let me see. That's it. So we have the new head coach, Carrie. Hopefully she'll come in. I actually met her the other day. I went over the practice. They had a huge, Taunton's famous for going to the state championship in girls softball almost every other year. And Coach Dave Lurie stepped down after 20-plus years over there. So it'd be good to hear her insight on what makes this team work and the players. She has one kid. Remember we had the girl from Villanova, the girl from Taunton High? Well, she still has one more year, and she is the white girl, Carrie White. I'm good with last names. I stink with first names.
Yeah, I think I remember.
Yeah, so you remember her, the Villanova girl?
I think so, yeah.
What's wrong with you guys? You guys don't remember that? That's all right. I'm only kidding. All right. So, Joe, how do you pronounce your last name again?
DeVerns is how you pronounce my last name.
DeVerns.
Yeah.
All right. So, for Joe DeVerns, Catherine Conley, a.k.a. KC, the man himself, the sportsmaster, Justin Ferreira, I'm Dominic Damiano. Alex Mayer will probably be doing the engineering next week. He took this week off. And we pray for Lucy Cabral and her mom, and hopefully that'll work out. And hopefully we'll get her back next week. We will catch you next time. Everyone have a fantastic weekend.